folks, welcome back for another episode of Our Journey. And we are going to be starting off with LollygagggingSweetRol. Some of you may recognize him from the tournament, where he had a great showing. He just reached out to me, just said, hey, I'm going to be jumping on, doing some serious climbing. His goal is to break into rank 4 this season, so he didn't have to fall all the way back to rank 9 at the end of it. I'm not sure if that's his first time doing it. I haven't asked him that just yet. But he is running, looks like a... it reminds me a lot, actually, of like a Dagoth list, just minus the red. So just, I would say, more of a mid-range, a nice mid-range, assassin mid-range list here. Very cool.
This one can be counted upon. I am too slick for
you. I did ask him about his name because he had mentioned he wanted to change it to something a little more succinct, as LollygaggsweetRol is a pretty long title. But he said he's had it for so long, he just really can't imagine getting rid of it.
See if we can find something.
So might ring out a dagger to make that trade with the descendant of Akatosh so that she does not snowball. Definitely got to watch out for that. And it also allows him to trade favorably with what's her name? Astrid, provided she does not have a...
The void
okay, so it does get a contract, but could have been a little worse. Probably, I'm trying to think. Mountain Lion into Sentinel Reclaimer and Fire Bolts? That's a great prophecy there. And of course, as we can see, Lollygagging is in... Oh, okay. Alright, so, yeah. I mean, that sucks, but that does enable a Fire Bolt to get rid of the 4-2. Can he do... I think we do... The Mountain Lion gives him 1 magicka, I believe, extra. Yeah. So essentially it's a 2 cost.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
Okay, so he's not worried about the kitty over here, who's the Pilfer kitty. Yeah. Rebel Warden. I just like calling her the Pilfer kitty.
Protect the Ashkan.
But yeah, as you can see, he is in the Steed right now, which if anybody who's ever watched this channel or watched it from the beginning, or the series from the beginning, that was my first huge speed bump, was just trying to get out of that stinking Steed. So I do not envy him his task. Oh, he strikes a prophecy on the first one. You saw there the comments. He said he wasn't really trying to go too aggressive. He just was trying to scare him a little bit. That's kind of the best case scenario, that he had the 2-1. So he's keeping a nice board, or a decent presence on the board, while also picking off the bigger creatures that are coming down from Zukirt. Sure. Z, the Quick Clawed. So obviously a Khajiit player. Oh yeah, we got the... it's rare you actually see a very thematic player. So we've got Khajiit icon. What we don't want to see is the 3-5 that... Well, actually no, the 3-5 wouldn't make a difference. You've got really 1 Pilfer. Alright, so... we're still... Oh! Dang it. That would have been perfect. I was going to say Steel Dagger and Mighty Conjuring in the Shadow Lane, or the Field Lane, but he's one off.
Something useful.
Interesting. Okay, choosing not to. So yeah, I guess this is a... He's playing it more mid-range than aggressive. And unfortunately, though, Halalu is an aggressively geared deck in general. He's going to trade with the 4-3. And he's... No, let's see, he'll have 7 next turn. He can ring out the... Yeah, that's not good. I was going to say Steel Sword into Mighty Conjuring. He's at a tough spot right now. This is where...
For the Ashkan.
Okay, Mace of Encumbrance is a good pull. He's going to be able to... Well, he'll probably just trade into the Ashkan. The Ashcan, as it were. That's who I said it. At the time, I was only thinking about the 1-1, but then he dropped down Ashkan, and... This unfortunately looks like it is going to be...
Give no quarter.
This one can be counted upon. Nothing will stop
So Lollygagging rightly realized that, when you've got Pilfer...
Excuse Khajiit.
Oh, knock it off, Z. Maybe they know each other, but come on. You're not sorry. Unfortunately, it looks like this will be... In the end, he just has just enough.
This one will shred your hide.
Okay, so yeah, I would like to think they know each other, but
Surrender, unclogged.
all right. On to
Greetings,
game
citizen.
2, and right off the jump, hey, you know, kudos to
your
Ricardo.
house.
You don't usually see word walls and shouts with the Crusader colors, although that could be bad. I got wrecked by, I think his name is Inner City Pigeon. I only come across him. I think he only plays casual because that's the only time I've ever encountered him. But we ran one of those, and I had lethal. You know, it summoned my entire lane, and was able to close it out the next turn. So it can be dangerous. Oh my goodness gracious! Oh my goodness gracious! Now, Lollygagging did in between games did mention that the Reclaimer kind of clogged up his hand a little bit more than he would expect. I'm not sure how many copies of that he's running, but I do know. Jeez, boy, he is really up against it today.
My friend would like a word with them.
And that's a naked conjure. I mean, there could be an execute. I mean, this is a shout deck, so they could have execute. Although this obviously that's pretty aggressive. I mean, that's a bonker starting hand. To have 2 word walls. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, Lollygagging. This is. I doubt he runs Ice Storm in this, and even if he did, obviously he didn't draw it in time. This is one of those days when you already start going, does this game really want me to play? No, that's a great one. That'll, in theory, I think yeah, I was gonna say Queen is definitely a good call there. You need the life gain. And that does put 2 targets if Ricardo is sitting on a piercing javelin. He has to decide if he's going to get rid. Okay, so he's not going to use it. If he has removal, he's not using it on the Patronach.
It's not enough to watch your back these days.
Tiny Dargon is going to eliminate a rewarded. Man. So let's see. All right, that's a great pull, great card to have. Ash, Oppressor. Yeah. Ash Oppressor. Well, maybe he's thinking Prankster Mage. But I think Ash Oppressor and Wardcrafter onto Baron Zaya. Cool. Great minds. Great minds. Does not have lethal on the board right now. Ricardo does not. But it's not going to take much. Looks like he's got what he needs.
Is someone out there?
No?
Observe.
Alright. Let's see. Great. Another shackle is good. A low-cost shackle. That's great. So we'll probably get rid of the drain there. Or not the drain, the card draw from the lookout, for sure.
Well, let's see if we can find something useful.
Okay, it's gonna give Baron Zaya a lot of drain. So hey, he may be able to turn this thing around. I really was thinking it wasn't gonna happen. 6, 8, 9. Boy, if Lollygag can pull this off, fantastic. All right, he's trading. He's got him to trade. That's a step. That's a huge step. And if Baron Zaya survives this turn, that's even bigger. We're banking it on. Okay, that's actually not bad. Wardcrafter, Shadow Shifts. Wardcrafter for sure. And maybe Ash Suppressor. I think Lollygag has turned this thing around. So it just goes to show you, boy, as horrible as that hand can be. Okay, no. Alright, so if... I mean, lollygagging is right back into the fray. Oh my gosh.
For Savengard!
That was pretty much worst case. Ah, boy. So Astral Pressure is gonna be key here. That's just a great card. It is so ugly. I hate the fact we need an alternate art that does not feature. I mean, that is just the ugliest abomination of a creature. Can we just appreciate how ugly that thing is? Little elephant snouted coming out of its eyeballs. What? I mean, that's like if you put your nose here and you didn't have any. I mean, that's just bad news.
For Savengard!
Alright, so Ricardo trying to keep Oda being alive. So he's gonna fill up that lane again. He's just had a freaking amazing draw, unfortunately. And of course able to trigger Ulfric. So Crown Quartermaster to allow that trade. Mighty Conjuring comes down in Shadow Lane to block Ulfric.
I keep a spare blade in my
Yep. Just don't trade until you get that Mighty Conjuring down. Nice. That's kind of, and I always question the lane only because Ulfric is a card draw, and we know Ricardo's playing shouts, and all we need is that unsummoned shout, and it's done. And it looks like he's got it. I mean, we'll have to play next turn, but the chances that Ricardo is not sitting on another one is pretty slim, just the way this game has been going. Alright. Boy. I thought Lollygagging had pivoted, but... And he did. He fought very well. But boy, it was just too much. Ricardo's draw was just really too good this game.
I have many important things on my mind.
Well played, Lollygag. Well played. Lollygagging had just said, oh no, and I'm thinking it as well. We're thinking the same thing, I think, which is that Mandarian is running invade. Hopefully that is not the case. Lollygagging has switched over to sorcerer, as he kind of observed. He's like the ladder looks pretty aggro heavy today, so he's shifting over to something a little more protective.
I stand ready.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Yeah, when you get off to the rough start today, I mean, that last game was just brutal. And yeah, this is kind of looking like invade. Let us not speak it into existence. Let us hope that we see the kitty, and kitty means Pilfer Guildsworn, because that's likely. And I'm with you. It would be a tough call for me too, as to whether or not to consider. Like, as you know me, I won't play against invade. So my propensity would be to.
Careful there, friend.
The good news is he has squish, so if he can get a big enough body, like say Nahagleave, who cannot be removed with actions either, which is kind of the bread and butter for. Invade. All I have to say, I think he's not in dire straits right now. He's got enough guards. Him playing this more defensive list, I think, is going to be good.
I will keep TESL's people alive.
Seeing some cards we don't usually see. That's one of the ones. Is that Thrones Alive? Is that what that's called? Throne Aligned. Yep. Hey, I got it right. I guessed correctly. Ideally forcing a trade here. But boy, if we see invasion party.
Oblivion with open arms.
Lord
I think Squish and Pointy might actually get the job done. I'm not really sure how that works with pointy. I think it would work. Because if you don't have breakthrough, I think it does, doesn't it? It reciprocates damage, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he's not going to squish. Okay. Yeah, it's just... yeah, just hopefully it doesn't get executed or removed. Because with the gate at the level that it is now, that... Okay, that was not the worst for sure. But that gate's got to go. Ah, boy. Invade doing the invade thing. Such a lazy deck. Okay, so this is a Singleton, I say, pointing out the obvious. That's really cool. That's really cool. Oh, man. Good old keywords. Unfortunately, that gate's not going to go anywhere. Unless he's got the... Jeez. Yeah, it's snowballing.
You will die at my hand.
For a new world!
I mean, Lollygagging, you're not... I mean, you could argue that the negation... Oh, squish the Wimpy with Night Talon would be... I don't know. It's going to come too late, I think. Brett and Conjurer might squish the Wimpy, though. I don't know. For some reason, I'm hooked on squish the Wimpy. But he could squish the Wimpy and then 6th house. Well, wait, does that give him a ward? It needs more power. Yeah, it's just done. Oy vey. Lollygagging back with what I assume is the Singleton sorcerer. Bonus round. Okay, but I was like, wait a minute, what did I miss? Okay, so this is he can actually gain 2 spots for winning this one. So this could be the turnaround. He is up against a fellow rank 7, somebody else trying to claw their way out of this beastly steed. Yeah, I don't see that very often, but it is good to see it in this one, and it's a good start. It's a good start, which is nice. It's good to see a little turn. I mean, you get 2 losses. The first one, I guess you could say had a fighting chance of sorts. The second one, decidedly not. That was just kind of railroaded. He made a great showing of it despite that, but it was a rough game. And then, of course, you get invade. And I said the only thing that the invade didn't get was invasion party, and it was so ridiculous it didn't even need the invasion party. So, hopefully, he pulls this one out, and it pretty much wipes out those last 2 cheeky losses. We'll leave it at cheeky. The fact that he's going to be able to get more charges off of his assassin.
I smell the stench
looking good.
of the
it's
living.
Looking good. So Keek did send a greeting, which, so definitely... From the little bit we can tell, and as A. Ross mentioned in his video, and as I've said in mine, emotes we have very few ways to communicate who we are and what we're all about. And a greeting is just a great way to, just say, hey,
Nothing will
friendly.
trace back to
I mean,
us.
I'm playing the game, so of course I'm gonna try to win, but we're just two friends sitting down. So it's always good to see that. Always good to see that. Oh, no, you are right. You are right, Lollygagging. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that. This has to be market.
I will keep
Absolutely has to be market. I'm always caught off guard by market because this is exactly how the market games go too. You think, oh my gosh, I'm totally going to win this thing. And then the first market comes down, and then half the time, then the second one.
My business is none of theirs.
Let us hope that is not the case. Yeah, this is... Yeah, go for it, Lollygagging. That's, you are most assuredly facing...
Hiding will not save you.
a market. And he's got enough cards in his hand, he's going to try to go off here. If nothing else, to put him out of lethal range. Because right now, with what Lollygagging has in his hand. Okay. Looks like
Silent as a shadow.
Kick just didn't draw his markets. Or he just knows that he can't win because you can't. Or he's hope. Okay, that seals it. So you could pretty much swing. And GG.
Well fought.
All right, so he gets to go up. We got one! Two, actually. It counts for two. Sorcerer Singleton back. I love that alliteration. And with Set's masterwork, I mean, that's always great. That is... Okay. Just a PSA for lollygagging and anybody else who doesn't know, you can't drop a rank. Once you get into that rank, the worst you can do is go two losses into the Serpent. The Serpent kind of catches you. Otherwise, I probably would never make it to Legendary because I go on these horrible losing streaks of like 10 games. If you could lose ranks, I would never get anywhere. So the worst you'll ever get once you crack that rank is 2 games down. And once you're at the bottom of the snake, which is like I said, the 2 games, you'll never have another problem. It's all right. You got your firebolt.
Identify yourself.
I live to serve.
It's a good start. Good start for lollygagging here. Set's masterwork is good, especially against an assassin that isn't running really great support removal. Obviously, they could be running the Vicious D. And this could be another market. Oh, boy. Yep. Thinking the same thing, buddy. Thinking the same thing. That sucks. Mute seems like it'd be a good... I mean, it's a good deal, but he's probably going to want that for like, another thing on the board. Okay, yeah, so that's... Those are... Well... Man, this is... Yeah. Yeah. You hate to see it. See, okay, that, I will admit, I did not realize that. I didn't know that targeting it with an action that... It's going to heal for 4 or 5? 4 or 5? 5. Wow. I thought once if you silenced it, like if you target with actions, it draws, but like if you target with a javelin, does it draw... Wait, no, it's not a draw. Wait, what is this? I don't know. Yeah, I thought he targeted with actions.
They will meet their mate.
Ooh, that is a beefy Daggerfly Mage. I don't know why the names are slipping out of my brain. Can't remember a single one. I think she was the first one I crafted more than one copy of. Yeah, this is...
Would you like a bow that shoots rainbows too?
My scales work in shadow.
All right. Nahagleeb going to be coming in mighty handy here as he is immune to... So Foxy probably deciding whether or not it's going to curse. Apparently he hasn't drawn his marks either. Or either that or he's waiting. He wants to draw more cards first. I do like seeing Sky Shard just because it's a card that doesn't get a lot of play there. And yeah, and with Sets, it's a great combo with Sets Masterwork. Creepy little Cthulhu type effects there.
I will cut this and your throat.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. He's got to have a market in hand at this point. Silence was returned. Yeah. I think he's saying the same thing I did. Yeah.
Nice try.
I don't know.
Here to go again.
Is that broken? Not broken. There it is. There's the market. Siege. What about Vermina? Best case scenario, he's... Oh, there you go. Get that root bender out of there. Because right now he's in danger of... Yeah. Okay. That's a good yank. That is a good yank. And he is getting close to closing it down. Alright, causes the overdraw. It's gonna be close here.
Have business with House Halalu.
I'm glad I decided not to ladder today. Well, I did technically. I did it this morning.
Nothing will.
But I played Joe's Dragons, and then because I'm trying to get the daily quest for it, and I played the Dagoth deck. Got to rank 1, and then called it off there. Because I woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't fall back asleep, but I was able to do it after that. He's got to have a ton of 0 cost in his hand. Yeah.
Hands on.
But that Nahag leaves, it can't be. So he needs. I think he's got it. I think he has it. Throne of Line is 1+1. Oh yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Do it. Do it, Lollygag, and finish him off. Hit him with the 5, then hit him with the 8, and then finish him off with a lightning bolt. Bam! Market is closed. Closing time. One last call for lightning bolts.
This day will be mine.
So after a little bit of a rough start with the first 3 games, particularly the latter 2 of the 3, Lollygagging is making a good, strong showing here with the not mono, goodness gracious, Singleton. And it would seem that, oh goodness gracious, that name, it's like, let me just put all the vowels in a word. Yeah, so playing a deck that y'all know I like to play. I don't play sorcerer. I'm not saying it's wrong not to. I just, mine is the warrior version. And, I mean, the good news is it does eat a negation. Unfortunately, though, that 6/6 now is online. So we'll probably see Bleak Coast and hope that... Or is he going to try to race? Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Okay. See, yeah, I was thinking... Oh, boy. Oh, and this is the only game where Mute is not going to be great at it. So, yeah, we'll probably see Throne aligned. Bleak Coast into Throne aligned. Okay, all right. He is going on the aggressive here.
You cannot hide.
I think just by virtue of the fact that the Dragonborn has the ring, and kind of got a jump on that first turn. It's going to be a close one. He's got 11. If he squishes the 5/2 after, so Lollygag is going to want to silence both of those, because if he hits with the 5/2 and then squishes it, he'll be able to get that 5 health back, and that's gonna put him out of range. So definitely mute him. Yes, good call. All right, awesome. Great minds. Good heads up play there. And yeah, he's got lethal in the other lane. He's got 10. Unfortunately, Aieldo, we know he's running silence, and he's probably got a silence for the guard. Doesn't need it. Has exact lethal as it is. No prophecy. Exactly. Well, it was quick. Boy, that's rough. Fingers crossed the Miraculous is not playing Invade. Lollygaggen did send a greeting, and they greeted him back, so maybe he knows Semka. Semka Zelebabka. See, at least I can pronounce that. There's a lot of vowels, but there's a lot of consonants in there too. Kind of mixes it up, makes it easier to roll off the tongue. The last one was... I don't know how to deal with so many vowels. I just it's impossible. Now, granted, Guildsworn, as we know from a lot of folks who contribute decks and stuff, Guildsworn has a variety of awesome decks. And this may very well be Dragon or Control Guildsworn. Be cool if it was.
We stand ready to fight.
Words, words. I like seeing this guy here. I actually. Oh boy. Okay, this may be just the anti-fun Guildsworn, which is not. It's not a fun one. It's. Oof, I was gonna say almost anything you play is gonna. It's probably another execute. So better her than the Breton. Yeah. She'll probably eat a javelin next turn.
The elements are mine to control.
And the problem is he can play a javelin and an execute. So he may lose the board there. No? Okay. Got to play something. Okay. And an execute. All the draw. Okay, so support Guildsworn. I have a very keen grasp of the obvious. Not sure if we'll see Telvos or Galine. Galine? I heard actually Aros pronounce it differently than I've heard it pronounced. Yeah, you can sack assault. Yeah, they're.
Perhaps
you don't see it often,
one another.
But yeah, they do stack. Giggles! Hello, Giggles! So, I mean, Lollygagging isn't in a rush. Hopefully, I'm glad he got a nice premium Shadowfen. I thought about premium, making him premium too, but I'm really hoping that we get one of these upcoming. Interesting. Okay, plays nothing. That's
Watch this.
interesting. He's kind of saying, "All right, Semka, give me what you got." All right, that's gonna eat a shadow. That's gonna, I think, draw out the shadow fan. I would imagine, because that's card draw and.
You must be clever.
All right, not gonna challenge Giggles. I've gotten burned because if your opponent puts down 2 or 3 Giggles, it can be a long way up. If you're trying to. I think I might. I don't know if I'd Galen. I'd probably Encano. I mean, that'd be pretty. All right, I'm not entirely sure
Watch this.
what's going on here, but wow. All right. So maybe Night Talon and Squish to get Giggles. It seems like a waste, doesn't it?
I have many important things.
Does not Galen or Galine? I don't know. Most assuredly, Encana will. Yeah, what is that? A lightning bolt then? Over camp. Okay. Ward Crafter could help out quite a bit there.
I stand ready.
By the fires of oblivion.
Gotta watch out for Immolating Blast. Alright, so I think Night Talon, Squish on Cradle Crush. Particularly if Semka. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, no, he's gonna use it on his Breton, which is great because the Breton had been standing in the wings for like a year and a half. And Lollygagging, pretty much, I would say, rightly presuming that Breton's not going to get any more action over there. I mean, obviously he had the Ward Crafter in hand, but the likelihood that Semka was going to challenge that Shadow Lane was very slight. Right here. So Lollygag will heal quite a bit. Unfortunately, I think now that he's used Squish, I don't think he has any way to trigger Night Talon. He's going to have to play him naked at some point and just hope. Yeah, it's rough. Once you know you're up against a control Guildsworn, I mean, well, control, I mean, any control deck that's running the, he's probably going to be able to trigger that. Yep. All right, so Semka is turning the corner here and is going on the offensive, and I'm guessing Lollygagging. I'll have to ask him next game. I'm trying to keep the board as clear as possible so that you can see as much of the game as possible. Gonna ask him if he runs a copy of Ice Storm, or we may see him draw it. That'd be even better. So he's gonna want to get. This is rough. Yeah. So like he said, I mean, when you're playing against willpower, you have you know you don't want to stack a lane. Now that's another interesting thing there. So I mean, you do have to play around him, but you know you can challenge. You know, put. Yeah. Iron Atronach is actually he can be targeted by Goldbrand, but yeah, I think he just. So we can see he's kind of got. He kind of wasn't sure how to do it. The thing for anybody else who's watching. Remember, so Dawn's Wrath. Right now, especially in this case, when your opponent has a lot of high-value cards on the board, or a lot of their cards on the board, and you know that they're trying to get aggressive. For example, if you wanted to stack cards in that field lane, you can feel free to do so, because if he nukes that, I mean, granted they could still attack, and then he Dawn's Wraths it, but I mean, you have to, because otherwise you just see you can't, you're not really able to play the game. So that actually helped because it prevented. I don't think that would have made a rune break either. Anyway, see, I think Iron Atronach comes down in the field lane because and that's the thing. It's a guard, so if Semka's going to Dawn's Wrath, it's going to have to be before he attacks with it. So he will be able to get. He probably has a lightning bolt though.
You're not as powerful as you believe.
And that was pretty much worse. That's a rough one to go up against. Okay, this may be Lollygagging's last game for the day. I can totally understand that. He said, and I quote, well, let's see exactly what he said. Since we haven't started yet,
Greetings,
he said,
citizen.
I think I got one more game in me with a deck I only bust out on days like this. So he's feeling it as well. And I'm sure most of you can relate to that. I mean, even Aros, high-level player, many high-level players. I mean, Joseph, Kfluffy. I mean, most folks who've shared that they have those. You just have those days. You just have those streaks where you just can't get any traction. And I think Lollygagging has stuck with it longer than I would have. I think after the invade game, I probably would have just been like, all right, I'm done for today. Okay, this is actually really good then. He said he made this game when the ladder was full of Telvanni and Tribunal, and that's what he's up against right now. It's always the worst thing when you're like, all right, I'm going to change things up, and you start playing you're like, so you change to aggro because you've been up against control, and then you end up against an even more aggro-y deal than what you had. So Relentless is not...
Take a hit bait weakling like you.
Yeah, he's... Oof, oof. One away from triggering. Hopefully he can draw something 4 cost or less next turn. Why is he chose to trade there, even though it took the 4-1 off the board?
I'll do what I can.
Ah, that is... Icky poo.
United.
I mean, it's better than nothing. He'll be able to keep his Relentless Raider alive. And the Imp gets the reach that it needs. Oh no! He's sacrificing the Relentless Raider to keep the Imp alive, which I can't say I disagree with that necessarily. My instinct is always to keep Relentless alive. Oh boy. Good news is he's got reach for days. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. This is looking pretty good. Now, unfortunately, the Necromancer's Amulet is going to start making it hard, especially with cards like that, where he's able to put 2 cards on the board in one turn. Lollygag needs some low... Okay, not that low. I was going to say it needs some low-cost cards, but that's a really low cost. So might see...
Kashid likes these.
It's hard. He's trying to keep him in that aspect of her scene range. The good news is, as long as Jay Spurn... Oh, boy. I mean, he's... Jeez Louise.
We must press our advantage.
Behold.
Ah, it's so much healing. Alright, Imbued Minotaur, I would say into the shadow. So it's not dead draws, but he's got 2 more turns. He needs to keep Jay, I don't use vowels in my name, Jay Spurn 11, the Orator, needs to keep him under 12 health. Because then he goes back-to-back her scenes. Worst case, Jay starts putting down some guards. Or does some cool fun.
We must press our advantage.
Why do I say things? Why do I say things? Alright, it looks like Jay is going to try to pivot into attack. And unfortunately, he can close it out in 2 turns. But, so can Lollygag. All he needs is one of those to survive and hit face, and he's got this.
Now is the time.
Just barely, but he has it. Alright. Oh, guards in both lanes! Oh, guards in both lanes. It's does exactly what it does to me. He's gonna heal for 2. Only gets the 5 damage in. I mean, the good news is so aspect and then aspect again. It's gonna be, unfortunately, Jay is just gonna trade that entire lane into it to drain back that life, and it's he's taking a risk. I mean, either way, it's a tough decision. I wouldn't have thought to go there, but I think that's a good call on his part, because if he doesn't have the removal, that's 12 damage on board. That's a really good call. It's one of those. It's kind of that coin toss where if Jay has the removal, and it looks like he does.
Should have been more worthy.
And the random removal, too.
Die, abomination.
Now is
Obviously,
the
I think
time
we'll
for
see Jay
action.
hit here. He's going to try to close it out.
I
And
know you're out there.
he's
I'll
going to be
see
able
you
to.
dead.
Boy. The ladder is ugly sometimes, folks. The ladder is really ugly. Good start, but double amulets. And a 3-attribute deck, too. That's just never great to see. Has a lot of reach. A lot of great reach in here. But Jay was able to hold him at bay with the really those amulets. They really almost single-handedly sometimes determine how a game's going to go. I mean, there are 4 costs. I don't think they're.
Well fought.
Yeah.
Now is
Well, Lollygagging, if this is the end, it was great watching you. I'm really sorry that the ladder really did you dirty today, but you fought well. You fought through it. As you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in here. I need to. I have a quest to play dragons or to attack with dragons.
Luck to your house.
So that's the only time, and because I know
Welcome, friend.
Joe's
I
dragon
slay
deck
the
is
unworthy.
good stuffs. Because I know it's good stuffs, I'm willing to try to quest and ladder at the same time.
The spirit of his glamour goes with us.
Okay, so Dr. Gernot, I believe I saw him before, is...
Dark Brotherhood is a pop.
I don't know that I've ever seen werewolves in Spellsword. I think that's a first. It's always
My
warrior.
axe is sharp. And
Don't
my
believe
patience
any of them
is
alive.
thin.
Alrighty.
This is on your head.
Trying to think, do I douche?
I am death.
Yeah.
We must protect our stronghold.
Tiny D will go into the face there. No point in trading him into the 2-3. In theory, the 2-3 has a botched trade with our douche. Nope, he does not.
Sweet, I could just eat you up.
And my Tiny D gets turned into a sweet roll. You cruel and inhuman man. All right, so he's going to heal up with that. We need to build this lane over here. I can ring out Wildfire next turn.
It's not enough to watch your back these days.
Careful there, friend.
I could have played him in the field or the shadow lane and then warded up the sweet roll so that the 4-3 can't heal. But hopefully, I've given him something to ponder here.
They're bleeding. Don't
Ooh,
let up.
nope, he's going face. Going face.
Scrumptious.
Okay, not the worst case for us. Actually, that's the best case
Stands ever ready.
with the prophecy there.
Yours.
So yeah, let me finish my last thought. Well, okay, actually, it's so hard to do this.
They won't get a drop on me.
This is on your head.
Dog.
Wildfires. This is not the right time for wildfire, but because I'm gonna wipe out my board essentially. But I do get the draw, and I get rid of the sweet roll, and I get a nice buff 8/8 that is probably gonna eat an edict or something like that.
My axe is sharp, and my patience
Spill
is
their
thin.
blood.
Ah, boy, which one do I? Shoot. I get punished for that if he has a way to get rid of my dragon. I get punished really bad for that. Okay, he cannot finish the dragon. That's fantastic.
They won't get a drop on me.
I don't Well, I was gonna say, yeah, I don't have to play it safe right now, but I'm
We
choosing...
must protect the wellspring.
Oh dear. Could really use some removal here.
This one's blade is yours.
All I got is Mulamir. Can't even play him this turn. Alright, we'll give him a card. And we will...
Preparations have been made.
Break through their defenses.
Alright. So our dragon loses his drain.
They will
Goes to
fall
face.
before
They
my
shall
blade.
have nowhere to hide.
Definitely want to get rid of him. So we will execute him. Oh no, we can't. We can't play that and Mulamir next turn. And we definitely want Mulamir. Oh no, you diabolical fiend.
My claws are sharp.
This has gotten decidedly ugly. Decidedly ugly. I mean, that's 7. All right. Yeah. I mean, he won't even kill the 7, though. He will with the lookout.
For full creep. I have you now.
All right, we're still in a really sticky situation here. Glacial Dragon into Frostgale next turn could help stave things off enough for Odahviing to come down, but who knows what nefarious plot Dr. Yep, that's the kind of thing I was just worried about.
If they're smart, they'll walk away.
Destroy you.
All right, so we got.
Speak, citizen.
Into Glacial Dragon. And probably not going to have a worthwhile execute beyond that. All right. We're in trouble if another one of those not Mana Marcos, is he called?
We'll hold, no matter what.
Frostgale is going to be a big help here. Really big help.
Your time has come. All can be had.
Oh, Frostgale is going to be awesome here.
Oriel.
Alright, we get a prophecy right off the jump. I feel pretty good about attacking because we do have Odahviing next turn.
Speak, citizen.
You will follow my plan.
So I think we're doing okay. Obviously, if he plays Odahviing.
swarm is no match for mine.
We play out of range. And we do win with... We have some ways forward. We have some ways forward. That's not bad. That's also not bad. That's horrible. That is horrible. Wow. Wow. All right. It's a drag down fight right now, but we do have some good options here. Let's just hope he's not sitting on some good options. Okay, he's sitting on some good options. I think we're still in the shadow lane though, so we can use our breakthrough for a card draw.
If we die together.
Yeah.
I have many important things on my mind.
Prophecy. Okay. And we're both on fumes at the moment.
There's a plan. There's always a plan.
And we're gonna go.
We must protect our stronghold.
I'm not trying to mute the guy, I just want to poke him in the face. Okay. What a fight. What a fight.
Walk with our Lord.
They're in my sights.
4 damage.
I'll profit from your preparations have been made.
Back to work.
All right, come on, come on. Let's close this one out here, guys. Let's close this one out. All right, we're 1 off at the moment. We now have
Your
lethal.
death will be painful. This was a worthy contest.
You won't foil my plan.
Good game, Dr. Gernot or Gernot. All right, jumping in, probably going to end the video with a game from Kfluffy.NPO-Friends. Holy cow, my sword. Oh.
I keep a spare blade in my boot.
We'll see how they like some
All right, so possibly up against a prophecy warrior. Giggles! Always good to see Giggles down there. She's so happy. How can you not be happy? And with the dagger, she's going to make a great trade with the 3-2. Okay, so this is this has got to be warrior, and now she doesn't get to have a nice trade. I mean, she has a trade. She just... Oh, okay. All right. Doing the... So he's willing to get the card draw there. From another... Oh, no. Yeah, from another rune break. Possibly. Okay. Getting spicy. My brain is all over the place. That's another reason why this will be the last one I feel... Oh, no, the douche! On curve! Wow. Wow, that's the worst. Anytime you play a support that's your entire turn, and then it gets yanked away.
Awaiting your command.
But yeah, this is a...
We must protect our stronghold.
One may call this prophecy abuse. Okay, he's going to leave Sky Shard. There now, a Sky Shard, as we know, it has a downside. It does cost.
Close ranks. Let nothing through.
It costs. It makes the cards cost more. So it'll be interesting to see how Kfluffy navigates this, knowing he's up against Prophecy. I'm guessing he might take the foot off the gas just a little bit. I mean, that's usually what you do.
Well, let's see if we can find something useful.
So maybe Harpy and... Oh, I can't play Dagger. I was going to say and Dagger to get the drain, but he really doesn't need it at this point. He's actually doing all right.
Time to take the offensive.
I was going to say, now the problem is Sky Shard is going to start being effective now. Maybe he's seeing ahead and going to use the belly G, which I love this guy's expression. This is me playing TESL like half the time. Oh my gosh! Oh, it's a big thing. All right, Fluffy just says, I don't care about your prophecy. Don't care about it. I'm going to go for it. Which, considering he's got, Dawn's Wrath, Mirac, like he's got ways to. He's got a good late game that he and Belligerent Giant. I mean, yeah, this is just like it's one thing to run a lot. I've just never been a fan of.
Time to take matters in my own hands.
The abuse, and this is the downside though of abusing the prophecy mechanic. Prophecies. Is he going to get rid of Sky Shard or the 3/6? He'll get rid of the 3/6. Okay. Really doesn't seem to mind the bonus that the shard gives him. That's a big one. I mean, he could break through for one.
Watch yourself now.
It's just so much smarter than I am. I'm like, well, he might be able to finesse this a little. He's like, nope. And it's fast too. So one of your Ooh, and that's a low roll and a half right there. Against the Natro's probably gonna Harpy the 6/3, I would imagine. And he's not gonna test fate with that last rune break. Looks like he's gonna come away with the victory over.
Won't escape alive.
Identify yourself.
Crazy, heavy prophecy. Oh yeah, he's got it right there. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, so this is going to be the last one. It's really hard. I kind of get addicted to watching people play. So when I can actually find somebody who's playing regularly, I'm like, oh, let me watch. So Kfluffy, number 14 against number 16. Friend request me. This is, I guess the Grey Viper Brigand is indicative of a control tribunal. Because that is one of the big problems with tribunal is that I can't remember who pointed that out. It might be Core Data. Somebody pointed out the downside with tribunal. What stops it from being as prevalent as like a Telvanni is the lack of draw power. Telvanni can draw for days. You can starve out, and I'm just echoing somebody else. I can't remember who it was, but somebody else said you can bleed tribunal out of cards easier. Those Grey Viper Brigands are an answer to that. I actually like. I think I did it once, and I saw somebody else do it where you run.
Impressive for one without scales.
What's his name? Eastmarch Crusader, and as long as you're willing to break one room, which I think is fine. I mean, if you're hard-nosed control, if you're like committed to the philosophy of control, which is not going to touch you until I can OTK you, then you wouldn't necessarily do that. But I always like having my opponent in a position where I could pivot and close the game out. And once you break that first room, then you can get draw power from Eastmarch, and they can also trade. So it's another way to go about it. But obviously, Grey Viper Brigand is I think the go-to. But anyway, so yeah, what you saw earlier, I'm not sure what I've said and what I haven't said. That's a pretty good draw from the opponent. I wonder. Can't imagine they'd be running.
Cause it will keep you safe.
Moongate. Doesn't matter anyway. The what's his name? The green kitty, the green lion kitty, obviously isn't in tribunal color, so we didn't have to worry about that. Yeah, this is just removal central featuring tribunal. That's okay, though. Kfluffy has a ton of reach. Well, I shouldn't say that. Has some reach. The real reach would be Unstoppable Rage on like a breakthrough creature, but if Friend Request Me is dead set on playing nothing but actions, really, Rage isn't going to do a whole lot.
I have many important things on my mind.
And prophecies ain't one of them.
Speak, citizen.
That's a pretty heavy punish there.
Rimmon is only the first step on my
Ooh.
path to greatness.
So, gonna have to...
Fortune favor me.
Sorry, Fortune has got a javelin for your Araxia. Now, what would be really messed up is if Encanto got to do 5 damage when he came back over. He's like, I have another summon effect. But he doesn't. He is going to be booted off the board, I'm thinking. Oh boy, here we go, shenanigans. What? And it's going to come as a surprise to no one that Friend Request Me, I'm sure, has Resurrection. Reanimate. As Kfluffy said, though, at the end of his game, or made a comment just before the game started, he says, you just have to be able to roll with the losses. They're going to happen. RNG will even out over time. So you have a game where you feel like you're getting screwed by the game, like we saw with lollygagging today.
Godhood is like juggling. Things are back the darkness as I have written.
Way to... Okay, yeah. He can give... I mean, not that it's going to win the game right now, but with Guildsworn Oathman, he can get the breakthrough, the makeshift, the improvised weapon, and then can make any creature on the board a... Oh no! Nope. I was being dumb. Didn't even notice he didn't have any red. Nuts. That's probably the one he was really wanting, though. Because that Unstoppable Rage really doesn't do a whole lot for you without that breakthrough. Unless you're against aggro and you need to clear a land. He, I believe, heals for whatever... Oh my gosh, he's going up to 13. Jeez. I wonder if Reanimate... And you all can let me know if you're watching this. You know, I think with Reanimate, it needed some kind of balance there. I mean, it was fine, but then you see it with like an Alduin or something, you're able to play... Like, Alduin I don't think was ever meant to be, or never designed to be able to be played in a non-dragon deck. Like, the whole reason his cost comes down into reasonable reaches.
For one without.
Nice. Card draw for days. That is so satisfying to see. So now, Friend Request Me has all the, had all the health. Healed for a nice bit. Has no cards. Vanis, you never want to see that. He was going to be able to come out next turn.
Coin or your life. Choose. Coin or your life. Choose.
Overdraws. I will be able to trigger his Breton with either the Rapid Shot or the Fork Bolt. Probably Rapid Shot for the draw. Just kidding. Just kidding. Never believe me, folks. Good trigger for Guildsworn. Yeah, it's... Feels like Kfluffy kind of got staggered just a little bit, but that... Assault. Crusader's Assault. That's it. Another Alduin. Now, I think he can Belly G Alduin back into his hand, and he won't be able to play him. Sorry. Just going to be a big old 20 cost card. And you can't resurrect. Now, he does have the other Alduin that got whisked away.
I have many important things on my mind.
So Alfiq, I'm guessing, is going to be the call here. Oh, nice. Nice. Good. That's a great pull. And I wonder if he'll do what Lollygag did. Now, he's not in the same situation. Lollygag was up, had his back against the wall because of those, the amulets. So Kfluffy doesn't have to aspect. Doesn't have to, kind of gamble on him sticking. And in fact, he can just close this out if almost anything sticks. Steel sword, improvised weapon. So he's got 3, 4, 5, 11. He just needs to be able to. He needs 4 to stick.
We'll see about this.
And I think friend request me just sees. I mean, I don't think he has a. He can feasibly remove
your coin or your life.
Yeah.
Choose.
Good game, Kfluffy. So yeah, so today was kind of a hybrid. It wasn't really doing. This wasn't a whatchamacallit, a spotlight necessarily, but just great to be able to see.
My thanks is yours.
So good sportsmanship there. It's just a refreshing game to see. GG. And that's going to be a fine way to end the video for today. If you want, you can take a page out of LollygaggsweetRol's book. If you have a deck that you want to show off, or you want to, capture some of your ladder climbing, or pretty much anything, anything that you want to do in the game, just reach out to me. It can be through the Legendary Discord, or it can be in game. If you friended me in game and I haven't friended you back, that just means I haven't seen it yet, but I'm getting better about finding that stuff. But just reach out and just say, hey, here's what I'm looking to do. Can we schedule something? And I will most assuredly say yes, and we'll figure something out. We'll find a time where we can both jump on, and we can capture whatever part of the journey is it that you are trying to show. Anywho, thank you to LollygaggsweetRol and Kfluffy for being a part of this video. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, keep playing.